Hi, just thought I'd give an update on where Zenigo is at the moment. So previously I talked about how I had a single repository with two monorepos in it, one for the backend, one for the UI. I've decided to ditch that approach, so I'm still keeping the monorepo for the backend, but I'm using a standard Angular project, standalone project for the front end. So like I said, I'm going to reuse a lot of the code for my previous project in this one. So I've copied over the code, renamed some of the components to match the Zenigo project name instead of the Echo Nexus project name. And I have this running on localhost at the moment. So I'll just show you really quickly how it's looking. So Zenigo.io, all-in-one feature flag and release management solution with user segmentation and feedback capabilities. Um, it's still the same landing page that came from Echo Nexus, but I am going to adjust it slightly. I'm going to keep this meteor effect at the top and stuff like that. Pretty much everything as far as here is probably going to stay the same, but everything below will change. The nice thing about reusing the code is that I get to reuse a lot of the logic that I used previously for logging in with GitHub or logging in with Google, logging in with email, stuff like that. I just thought I might as well give a quick explanation as to how these two projects are merging. So, one second, and I'll open up a diagram for you in a sec. Yeah, so I just found a quick pie chart on Google. So, the basic idea of this application is that you will have feature flags, for example, a new feature that you have hidden behind a flag. So, maybe you previously had sign in with email and sign in with Google, and you're trialing out sign in with GitHub. You could have the feature disabled for this user segment, this purple one, and enabled for this yellow one as kind of the beta one, or let's say the blue one because that's even smaller. So if you receive a bug report using the feedback widget that came from the feedback portion of the application, you would be able to see which user segment they were a part of. So if the user is seeing connection timeouts, you might look at the logs and see that they were a member of the user segment that had the GitHub with sign in with GitHub enabled. So you would be able to narrow down your search for what the issue was. And you could also eliminate the possibility of that being an issue as well. Say if they're not part of the new feature beta group, then you would know that it's not an issue with the new feature, it's an existing issue. So that's the basic idea, and I'll just show you what I'm talking about when I say feedback. So say if I click this and report a bug, let's say there was an issue logging in, it took 30 seconds and I had to try twice. Report. And then since I have access to that dashboard on this website, I can show you what that looks like. So for Echo Nexus, and you can see type bug report. There was an issue logging in, it took 30 seconds and I had to try twice. So right now you can get the client IP, the product ID, the client subdomain, the URL the user was on at the time, their time zone, the server response time for the feedback submission. But this will also add in the user segment. So you'll be able to cross-reference the feature flag user segment with the feedback user segment and be able to see which features this person had access to. And that's the basic idea of the application. Like I said, we have a UI set up. I think I'm going to host the UI on Railway. To use custom subdomains in Vercel, you need to sign up for the enterprise plan. You don't need to do that for Railway, so I've used Railway in the past for UIs and it works quite well, so I think that's what I'll go for. But yeah, I will update you in the next episode, probably next week, with the further progress that I made. But right now we have a basic backend and a basic UI. Backend hosted in the cloud, and the UI running on localhost that needs a bit of tidying up. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Bye.